consecrated life is very freeing, but it's a gamble. You know, you're surrendering. You know, like Peter said to Jesus, well, what about us? You know, we're leaving everything to follow in your footsteps and that sort of thing. And what about me? You know, am I going to survive, or how am I going to live? You know, but it's strange sometimes when you give up something, you wind up getting 100 times more than what you started out with. And so poverty, well, we don't necessarily worry about that. Of course, if we didn't have clothes or a car to get around, I suppose we'd certainly be concerned, that's for sure. And so we may have the minimum of things, and so we don't worry about it. We don't worry about titles or anything like that in the business world. We're not accumulating different things. And so we don't worry what color the car is, or we shouldn't anyway. Those kinds of things. But there is a freedom there, you know. Not being married, you know, you can be more available to go out and meet the needs of the people. Not like you lock the door and go to bed and that's it. Well, get up and go. It's the call of God. And that's what St. Camillus would say. You find God in the sick and the dying, and in their needs, you can help them, or you try to help them anyway. So the freedom in that regard. Poverty, as I say, chastity, obedience. Obedience, yeah, as I mentioned, can be difficult at times. But we have obedience in business, you have it in the military. You can't escape it. Of course, we come right out and say it, which may make people a little uncomfortable in surrendering their will to somebody. We're not dying out. We're moving ahead and bringing in new candidates, and hopefully they feel inspired by these vows of poverty, chastity, obedience. Obedience is probably one of the hardest things, you know. No matter where you go, you got to obey somebody, even though you may not want to, but that's the way it goes. But some people say, well, poverty is a difficult one, or chastity. But no, obedience is the more difficult one. And of course, then the fourth vow, to care for the sick and the dying, even in danger to your own life. So that means we'd be willing to go anywhere, you know, to care for the sick. I would say, you'll find Jesus in the sick and the dying. That's where you'll find him, because you find people who are needy. And wherever there are needy people, that's where we can find Jesus.